Hello! Hey everyone! I got my sunglasses on because today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite summer reads. So I'm excited. Starting off, what is a summer read to me? It's just a book that is sunshiny. And that's not really a word, but I'm making a word. And it's just a book that makes you feel happy, makes you laugh, it's lighthearted, it's easy to read. It's something that you would pick up, just devour, like by the pool or on the beach or wherever you go this summer. Sometimes they might have, more introspective topics. They might have some sadness to it, might have some serious topics to it, but it's always going to end on like a lighthearted, happy note. So to me, that is what a sunshiny book is, and that to me, sunshiny book is the epitome of a summer read, in my opinion. That's what I'm going to be sharing, some of my favorite sunshiny books. So my number one, I cannot recommend this book enough, is 100 Days of Sunlight. I love Abby Emmons so much. She has been such a huge inspiration to me. She actually is a YouTuber and makes lots of writing videos on YouTube. If you know, you know. Internal conflict. This book is so well written. I cannot wait for her new book that's coming out this year. But this is where it all started. This is her debut novel. What this book is about: a 16-year-old girl, Tessa. She gets in a car accident. She gets a head injury and it affects her vision. And she's basically blind, and they're hoping that she will get her vision back after 100 days, and like the swelling, I guess, will subside and she will get her vision back. But the big problem is 100 days without your vision is hard enough for anyone, of course. It's especially hard for someone who is a writer like Tessa, and so her grandparents, she lives with her grandparents, and so they see that, they come up with the idea to get someone to write for her, even though she doesn't want the help. She's a very independent person, so she doesn't want someone to write for her. Somebody ends up seeing the ad that they were going to place in the newspaper. That guy, Weston, he sees the ad and he goes and meets her and offers to write for her anyways, because he feels like he can relate in some way to her struggle, her current struggle. And that is because he is an amputee. He lost his legs a few years ago, and so he understands that just feeling like her whole world is just out of control and no one can really relate to you. People are very like, they're giving you pity, they're giving you sympathy, but you just don't want it because you're just angry and upset. Pretty simple story, but so beautifully written, so well done. I love the characters. You will fall in love with these characters and you will feel for both of them, and you get to, learn about what happened to Weston and his backstory and his life and his struggle to become the person that he is today. And he's still growing and he's still learning and he's still changing. And you get to see Tessa's, her journey as well. Learning to enjoy life with what she does have and seeing the sunshine again, even though she can't physically see it. I love this book so much. And yeah, more love, give more love to this book, guys. So that's my number one read. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much, but there's that. So the second one, I just happen to have it still. I borrowed it from the library, Love and Gelato. I'm a big library reader. Reading can be such an expensive hobby, and you can end up buying books that you don't really even like that much. That's why I really love borrowing books from the library, and all of these books that I will be talking about you can get from, well, every library is different, but I was able to get all of these books from my library. So my next book, Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. I keep on wanting to say Welsh. So this book is so cute, and this is perfect for like more of the travel side of summer. If you like to travel, if you want to travel in the future sometime, live vicariously and travel to Florence, Italy with this book. This book is about Lena. Pretty recently she lost her mother. Her mother really wanted her, like that was one of her dying wishes, is for her to go to Florence, Italy and stay with this man that was a friend of her mother's. Lena and Lena's grandmother suspect that this man is her father, but her mother never really said that he was like her father, so she's just very confused about that, and she's kind of on the fence, you know, when she meets him. You know, this is like the first time she's heard about him, and she doesn't understand why her mom like never talked about him, if he was her father, and she just has a lot of questions. He hopes that she will like live there and move to Florence. She just wants to stay the summer and then get out of there and go back to her life. Yeah, she just wants to survive. There is some romance in this book. There's kind of like a love triangle, but not really. I don't know. I feel like not a lot of books actually do love triangles. Does anyone else feel that way? Like there's a love interest that's just very obviously like that's the one, and then there's the other one just to like maybe like, ooh, maybe. I feel like the main story is about her learning about her mom, learning about her father, learning about herself too, and then there's also the cute element of, you know, some romance in there, and it's just fun. It's a fun little adventure, and you know, you get to explore Florence through this book. You can do whatever you want, but I would not recommend watching the movie because they butchered it. If you want to laugh at how bad a movie is, read the book and then watch the movie, and you can laugh at how bad it is. This is a recommendation from a YouTuber, by the way, Elliot Brooks, I believe that's her name. Ever since she talked about it, I was like, I need to read it just because she loves it. So definitely good recommendation from her. Glad I read it. It took me forever to read it. Sadly, that's how I am with recommendations most of the time, but that's okay. My next book is also a recommendation from a YouTuber, Haley Pham, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Yes, Haley highly recommends it, and I stand with her. That's another thing I have not talked about is spice, and if there is spice, is it open door, is it closed door? Well, these are all young adults, so does young adult nowadays sometimes have spice? I don't know. I don't know. But none of these have spice in them, and that's how I prefer my books. I'd like my spice on my food, not in my books. I would prefer my steam in my showers on my broccoli, not in my books. Anyways, Better Than the Movies. So adorable. There's definitely a love triangle, kind of fake dating, fake liking, fake talking maybe. Oh, that's another like trope, I guess, is childhood friends, like they grew up together. She views him as like annoying neighbor, sets up an agreement with him that he will be her wingman. One of their other like childhood friends has like moved back into the area after living in Texas, I think, for several years, and it's their senior year, and she just, you know, she's just in love with this guy. She's been in love with him forever. I have a sad trend with some of these books is not having a mother. Her mom loved rom-coms, and that was like their special connection. I love, like, there's like a playlist, there's lots of music that's referenced. It's just such a fun book, such a cute book. I laughed out loud the whole time. Well, maybe not the whole time, but like frequently throughout the book, and the chemistry with the characters is so good. Like, yes, I highly recommend this book. I feel like this is maybe a number 2. Maybe if I did rank them, this is number 2 for me. My fourth recommendation, I don't think I rated it 5 stars. I don't think this is a 5-star read for me. I have to mention my girl Marissa Meyer, one of my favorite authors of all time. I love her. I love her work. This is like the only book that I don't own by her, literally, but which I need to own this book because I do really love it, and I definitely think I would reread this because it's just really cute. Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. Super cute book, perfect summer vibe. There is a little bit of like magic in there. Marissa can't keep away. She can't stay away from a little bit of like fantasy, even in a like contemporary romance rom-com. But in the movies has kind of a music theme. Well, Instant Karma also has kind of a music theme. This book is so cute because she's volunteering at like a ocean animal rescue. So that's really fun. And this is a enemies to lovers. The magic that she gets with the name Instant Karma is that she can give instant karma to people. Bad things keep happening around her. I likened this book to Emma by Jane Austen because the main character, Prudence, she's not the most likable character. She has some personal growth that she goes through in the story. Yeah, I said that you would either love this book or hate this book. Prudence can really get on your nerves. But I do think that like this story is overall worth it because of her growth as a character. But like Emma, either you can't stand Emma or like you love her. And I feel like Prudence is kind of a similar character to her. Those are of course classics and a completely different category of literature, but you know, they give me those vibes. So those are like the 4 main books. So going into series, if you want a bingeable series, the American Royal series by Catherine McGee. If you want a bingeable series, drama, but it's not like trashy. You know, there is a little bit of spice. But it's closed door. What is the series about? An alternate universe, basically, if America was a monarchy instead of a democracy. You're following 4 different characters. One of them is Beatrice, and which I love that name so much. Beatrice is the heir to the throne, and she is going to be the future queen, the future queen of America. And so she's got a lot of pressure on her shoulders. Her parents are like trying to kind of set her up. They kind of have handpicked people that they want her to end up with because of, you know, political reasons. But of course she's in love with somebody else. So there's Beatrice. There's Beatrice's sister, who is a twin, Princess Samantha. She definitely feels like she lives in her older sister's shadow, the rebellious one, the troublemaker. Okay, and then there's Daphne, and she is just manipulator and very controlling person, and she knows what she wants, and she wants to be like royalty, and she feels like she deserves it. She's very entitled. So there's definitely some drama that is related to that because she has her mind set on Prince Jefferson, which is Samantha's twin brother. And then there's also Nina, and she is just a normal girl. So she's best friends with Samantha, and she starts to catch feelings for Jefferson. There's a lot of drama, a lot of like love triangles going on and stuff, but each book is so much changes and so much happens in each book. I ate these books up. I flew through them, and there's a new book coming out this year. If you definitely want something that's very bingeable and has like the right amount of drama, but it's not like trashy drama, then I feel like, you know, this gives you that kind of reality TV almost feel to it without being just garbage for your brain, I would say. Last but not least, I'm just gonna have some honorable mentions. I'm not gonna go into detail about them because I just don't have the time anymore, but the Selection series, this one's pretty old, but I love this series. If you haven't read it, just read it. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, such a fun series. And then of course there's the movies with To All the Boys I've Loved Before, so that's fun too, so you could like read the books and watch the movies. But yeah, highly recommend those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know down in the comments below your summer reads, your sunshiny books, because I'm always looking for recommendations. Thank you guys for watching, and read a book and bloom on. Bye guys!